Hi there. So, something that's not about my housing situation. Whilst that's still something unresolved, what I am trying to resolve is where to place my two manuscripts of poetry. So, I've really shorn back both, but particularly this one, Heart Scarab, it will be in reverse, I'm sorry. And this other one, which is much more experimental, and it's called Loop Vertigo. Some of you have heard about it on this channel. It's if it's true that I've published several poems from each manuscript, and I don't remember exactly how many from Heart Scarab. I mean, I could kind of look through the table of contents. Yonder Up, that's coming out in Westerly. Transcriptions from the Flight Recorder that appeared in Scarp decades ago, actually. My Father Sings Along to Johnny Cash, that appeared late last year in Meniscus Literary Review. Purchase, Dog Love, they both appeared in Portal International Journal of Multidisciplinary Studies, maybe a good 13 years ago. There's some definite newies in here, but they're mainly golden oldies. So there were others that were originally assembled in this manuscript, but I made it much shorter and took out some of the stuff that seemed to repeat themes. And some of the poems are actually under consideration still, with different outlets, and even one of them's been committed to a prize. So we'll see what happens, because that helps with the fate of a book. Not just publications, but some visibility around your work. If you're a writer of any kind, you'll know what I mean. Then we have Loop Vertigo, and I also trimmed back some of this, but essentially quite a few poems have already started to appear or are under consideration. The Wave and the Particle being one of them that's been published. The Archives, Lost Objects, Pooja, Isabel, The Family Supernatural, Shanelands, they've all been published in different outlets. And I've definitely sent out a bunch of others. They're very different manuscripts. Loop Vertigo is, I guess you could say, vertiginous. I say a lot, sorry. It's closer to me and perhaps how I write these days, because Heart Scarab was written mainly between 1995 and 2005, with the welcome addition of some newly composed pieces, or those composed maybe 10 years on from 8 years on from 2005. It's always such a slow process, you know, and also publishing is a very subjective thing. What people's tastes are, the right journals, the right publisher. But I think that they're basically well composed. So Heart Scarab is more traditionally lyrical, and Loop Vertigo is a lot more experimental, but still combines the lyrical, the essayistic, hybrid poetry and prose. Oh, no, there was another one from there that appeared in Cordite. That's right. Unbroken. So I think that those poems are getting lift off, and I think that's really promising. But I've also seen that there is a prize that's being run by Fence magazine, which is from the US, and they have one that's for more experimental works written by women, and it's called the Otterline Prize. And I'm thinking of entering that, Loop Vertigo, into that. And Heart Scarab might be for the Fence Modern Poets Prize. At any rate, I printed them out to have another look to see if there's anything that still needs rearrangement. It's hard to do in these circumstances, and the poems I seem to know so well, so it's hard to get distance from them. But let's just say, I think I could be in for a chance, and you, as my mum always used to say, got to be in it to win it. Thanks, mum. You don't always win, right? But got to be in it anyway. But it would be such a delight if one of those was taken, honestly, because it would imply book publication, an award of money, and also a residency. Yeah, in working with the editors and with other writers in Massachusetts in T.S. Eliot's house. Yes, that would be quite extraordinary. And so that's the kind of moment that I'm thinking about. I've got to find the right spaces for this and see if it takes. I've read different poems along the way. I won't read any right now because otherwise the video will get too long-winded. But yes, apart from that, I am still trying to sort of build up my profile so I can get things like fellowships and other grants as well, to keep writing, not just academically, but also fiction, autofiction, short stories, and obviously this poetry. It's what I do. It's what I do. I can't imagine really not writing, even though I doubted the value of my own work for so long. So, to anyone out there that is pursuing, writing as a career, I'm an academic as well, so I went that route because I thought I'm going to just sink without a trace financially. But it's still there. The desire to write is still there, and there's still a readership for the work as well, and that's really important to any writer. So if you are, whatever genre, looking to develop your work and get it published, there are ways and means, and don't lose hope. Honestly, find your voice and find what drives you. Anyway, all the best, and if you like this video, hit subscribe. Thank you, and have a good evening or day wherever you are.